Hey, Nato here. So this is going to be the first video since my little pause from YouTube. If I don't count the 1 hour song that I put, but that's basically because it was a request from 3 people. So okay. This is going to be the next part on what if class 1A had different quirks. So in the last part, I did the island, the movie, and 3 things in particular that happened was that Deku basically used up around, a bit under half of the huge amount of power that Endeavor basically gave him by attacking him. To Jiro has the gauntlet that Deku broke in the original movie because it was given to her, but she never used it. And lastly, lastly, multiple people are now sure that, Deku's. I have to pause. Sorry about that. So lastly, everyone, instead of thinking that Deku is just as powerful as All Might thanks to his ability to absorb power, now they are sure that, he could beat anyone. So now many people are basically afraid of if Deku decided to go all bad or if he was angry. So, okay. Oh yeah, one last thing that's different. Shield wasn't arrested because, he never said that what he did, and the villains were basically knocked out and were basically too scared of the kid to say anything. Not because someone said he would do anything, but more because they're just afraid of him. So, yeah. They won't really say about Shield. So, that's basically that for now. So, okay, now we go to when they go for the forest training arc. Just like in the original, they stop at a specific spot to stretch their legs, kind of. And then not All Might, but Aizawa tells them that they have to go to the place where they are going to stay by themselves, going through the forest. Everyone, a lot of people basically got scared at that, except for some people. Now, in contrast to the original, where everyone was dropped, Aizawa told them that it was a race, and that basically everything was basically get to it first, and you basically get a prize, kind of, which made everyone really, they really want to get there by now, thanks to that. And And then some people said, but wait, Izuku's going to arrive first, right? And then they point to the one who was Sugar Rush in the original. I don't have the name written. I literally just have Sugar Rush written. And they basically say, those are going to be the first ones to arrive. You know that, right? With Aizawa saying, well, that's why there are more rules to it. Which everyone basically starts listening because, yeah, well, they want to get the prize, even though they're pretty sure nobody is going to beat those two. So Aizawa started explaining that basically you can do anything you want using your quirk, or just physically, even try to stop the others with the limit of not killing them, basically. And that's the only person actually to not have to do this is Deku. The only reason he removes him from that is because he literally just says, your quirk gives you an advantage that nobody else has. Half of their quirks wouldn't do anything to you. Pointing to Jiro and literally saying, neither of her powers would even do a scratch to you, even if she comes from the back. And she is one of the more powerful person there. Even Bakugo, who has a quirk that basically made fight you, ice cannot do anything to you. Which makes Bakugo angry firstly, because I can fight him? Then literally Aizawa tells him, yeah, but not that much. He can beat any single one of you if he wants to. So he is removed from the contest. The last rule of all of this is that the higher you, let me try that again. From first place to last place, each people get a small reward. It's just that the higher you are, the better it is. So you just have to basically get a high place. And with Dicker removed, you basically have a bigger chance of getting first or second. So everyone's more happy from that. And then wait a sec. I have to pause again. Okay, yeah. So Deku basically gets told to climb in the car with them, basically with Pixie Bob, Mandalay, Aizawa, and Koda, and they basically start going, while the others are basically told to go. First thing Bakugo does is basically freeze, practically everyone in place. Most of them are basically able to get out of that. Mostly people like, there's Tokoyami, Shoto, Jiro, Tsuyu, Ojiro, the multi-arm guy, Momo, for obvious reasons, that those guys are able to do that. Mineta would be able to escape it easily, but he's too dumb to do it. All he would need to do is, well, pretty easily, just makes a clone, transfer his consciousness to that clone, and leave the clone there or destroy it, and he's free, but he's too dumb to think of that. So, everyone basically gets out eventually, but this gives the edge to the others. After getting in the forest for a while, the monsters start appearing. But not only that, there's a bit more stuff this time. Since most of them have quirks that would allow them to break the monsters or go away from them easily, Bixiba basically modified the entire forest. So, what the hell? Yeah, so what they did was basically allow everyone to do everything. But since it's not just a simple forest, I have to pause. Sorry about that. So, now, basically the reason I say that the forest is a lot more dangerous is because it basically has traps, holes, trench, as well as a lot more beasts than in the original. So they can do whatever they want to try and stop the others, but it's literally easier to help each other to get through those. Problem is, nobody would do that right now, so it's kind of out of there. So instead of taking the amount of time that it took them in the original, it basically takes longer. But because of the way it is, there is also many differences that basically makes a specific list of people arrive, well, in specific orders. Most, well, visible is that Bakugo was able to get pretty far in front of everyone. As well as thanks to his ability to make ice, so he can do pretty much whatever he wants to protect himself or attack people. He was able to make defenses against monsters, as well as basically pass over holes and stuff like that quite easily compared to others, as well as having the capacity, thanks to everything, to simply kind of go straight. So he got first place. Second thing that happened, which was a bit more, I don't want to say complicated, because it wasn't that at all. It's more, how do you say it? Ah, what the hell? Okay, so each of them basically took a different path, basically, to try and get there. All going straight, but trying to stay away from everyone. So nobody could just follow straight behind Bakugo with his eyes, which made it quite difficult for them to catch up to him. At least, thanks to all of that, it made the multi-arm guy who has the spider quirk in this one be able to go a lot faster, since he can just stick to practically anything, and it allowed him to go quite fast, as well as allowed him to go over practically any things and basically destroy a monster quite easily. So he's the second one. Third one is Shoto. Reason is, with his light and shadow powers, the holes and stuff like that were hard to go through. But something that was easier compared to the original, well, compared to the others, I mean, was that he was able to break the stone monsters quite easily. So, he was able to go straight through a lot of them, and then get there in third place. After that, there was Momo, who is slower than all of the three previous ones, but thanks to her capacity to control matter and change it, she was able to pretty much kill any monsters and pass over the holes. The only reason she's fourth is literally because of her speed, which is a lot slower. Then we finally get someone who actually has a quirk that increases speed. The guy who had Sugar Rush in the original, or in this one who has not movement, but I literally just have Sugar Rush written in my notes. I'm quite annoyed by that, but yeah, my mind is really annoying. Are those the names? Yeah. So yeah, Sato. Okay, yeah. So Sato with momentum control. Yeah, no, sorry about that. But yeah, so basically, the reason he's only fifth, even though his quirk is made for speed, is that yes, he has the speed, but holes, the monsters, and stuff like that still are in his way. So they're holding him back from going all out. So after all of that, for the others, it's basically just, well, after that, all of the other people kind of gets the same thing, except for the last person. But yeah, so this is going to be explained kind of right now anyway. So when everyone finally arrives, Aizawa, Pixie Bob, Mandalay, and Deku are basically waiting in front of the house, kind of. And basically, when the last person arrives, which is actually Mineta, simply because his capacity to make clones is good, but it doesn't increase his speed, strength, or stuff like that, and just in physical strength and speed, he is still the lowest in the entire class. With Deku and his name is Shoji. Yeah, so with Deku and Shoji basically being first and second in terms of strength. So, yeah, he kind of arrived last. Aizawa basically said that all of the rewards were basically that first place actually had a lot more time to relax and basically allowing him to not have to cook for the entire time there compared to everyone else who will have to. So yeah, Bakugo doesn't have to cook. He still might do it though. But yeah. After that, Shoji. His reward for being second is quite a bit easier to understand. He basically has, he can choose exactly who he wants to be trained by, compared to everyone else who are basically chosen by them. After that, Shoto. For him, the rewards he gets is basically just kind of the same thing, but instead of choosing who he trains with, he chooses where he trains. So basically, if he wants to, he can train further than from other people or train closer to people he wants to. Basically, they're all meaningless things. It was just basically for him to say, yeah, you have rewards. So they're basically all useless, except for the first one. That's basically like, yeah, no, you don't have to eat to cook food. But compared to them, you have to train more. Basically, that's going to be the drawback for that one. Which he didn't say yet, but Bakugo's gonna know it in a little while. And be really angry. So, after that, fourth and fifth basically have the exact same thing. So, they can choose exactly where they are. And after that, everyone else, except for Mineta, who is last, basically get to choose exactly, what they want to eat. Like, okay, yeah, you have those things that you can cook. Like, we brought you the ingredients, but you have to cook. Those guys are basically the one who gets to choose what they want to eat. Which is basically just like in the original. Everyone could choose what they wanted to cook. It's just that they had to decide together. Now the only person that doesn't get a reward is Mineta, so he's basically just nothing. And once Aizawa finished telling that to everyone, they basically just like, wait, those aren't rewards. It's basically, wait, what? But we thought it was going to be stuff to help us train or stuff. Which Aizawa just said, I never said the rewards would be good, I just said there would be rewards depending on where they would rank. Which everyone was basically mad at that. Then someone asked, okay, but for Izuku, he didn't even try. Which Aizawa said, yeah, but he doesn't have to. He could have got first place easily. And you guys wouldn't have been able to do a thing about that. With someone asking, well, with Mineta asking, okay, why don't you make him do it then? With Aizawa just sighing and telling Deku to just run back to where they were. He can go all out if he wants to. There's no need to hold back. He can destroy the forest if he needs to. Which Deku basically said it himself. With Bakugo's just telling everyone to back the hell away. With everyone already already doing that. So, yeah, sorry about that. So, after that, basically Deku just started running. And he basically just decided to use as much momentum from the planet itself in one single go. What I mean by that is that he decided to just augment a bit the momentum he's taking from the planet. Not that much, just increasing the 0.000000000 whatever 1 by about 7 or 8%, or 7 or 8 times what he was doing already. So he was absorbing a lot more, and he was basically using it all up in one go. Basically boosting himself to fast enough to basically make an entire hole where he stood. Koda didn't even know about the true strength of Deku, and he just saw that happen. He was scared. And not just by a small amount. About 5 minutes later, Deku was back from the exact same hole he was making in the trees. So there's literally just a line of broken trees there. One thing I don't want everyone to ask is why didn't Toru get a higher score? Since yes, her quirk allows her to control, manipulate, and can enter plans, and she would have been able to go extremely fast. Her body still needs to travel that amount. And yeah, she's fast, but some parts of the plants aren't touching. So she has to run herself and break the monsters, or go through holes, or stuff like that. Which was slowing her down quite a bit. So that was kind of, well, making her a lot slower. So yeah. But Deku basically did that in around 6 minutes flat, with everyone just kind of realizing that, oh shit, Deku could really do a lot of things if he wanted to. With multiple people just understanding for the first time that, yeah, no, he never went to his full potential. Multiple people knew that, Shoto and Bakugo, because if he wanted to, he could absorb the entire momentum of the planet in one go, stopping the planet completely, breaking everything on the Earth. Which, in itself, would be quite powerful, which is why nobody wants him to become a villain. So yeah, that's one thing that's pretty hard. So I'm going to stop it here. The training and what they are doing to train will be in the next part. So, hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'm going to try and answer everything. Natsu, out.